at Galapagos Travel Center, and I'm really glad to be here today and give you some tips and information about the Galapagos and how to start planning and getting ready for a once-in-a-lifetime vacation. So, if you have any questions while I'm talking, or you have any comments, just type it down. I will be reading it and I will be answering depending on the topic that we are talking about, and we will go like that. Okay. So I know there is a lot of information there on the internet, and you can get an overcharge of information and can make it really difficult and hard to start planning and to know how to start doing this kind of trip. So one of my recommendations is always to look into official sources or sources more related to web pages that are involved with the business, with hotels and things about that, because if not, you are going to start reading blogs and comments and people telling you a lot of things that is not going to be that worth it. Okay. First of all, one of the biggest questions and that we are being asked all the time is when to travel to the Galapagos Islands. For visiting the Galapagos Islands, what you need to know is that they are good to visit any time of the year. Due to the location of the islands on the equator, weather is not going to change that much. There are just two major seasons, the wet season and the dry season. It's half of the year one season, half of the year the other one. And so you will have really nice weather all year long, and that's one of the biggest benefits of the islands. So you can enjoy whenever you want. You can go on your Christmas vacation, on any holiday that you're planning, or even when nobody is traveling, you can do it because the islands are nice and beautiful to visit any time of the year. Then, how to get to the Galapagos? That's something that we are being asked a lot of from a lot of clients and people as well. And you need to know that the only way to get into the Galapagos is flying there from one of the main two cities in mainland Ecuador, that is Quito or Guayaquil. Those two main cities will be the connection points to the islands. From there, you will catch flights directly to the islands so you can join your programs, okay? There is no other way to get into the islands than doing this. The next thing is when you are ready and you know already when to travel, I'm going to answer a question that says, when is the dry season? The dry season is between the end of June, beginning of July, to the end of November, beginning of December. That will be the dry season. Okay? This season is great for divers, for example, because the water temperature is going to be a little bit cooler, so you get to enjoy more wildlife on the sea. Then continuing what I was saying is, sorry, I'm being asked about prices of hotels and hostels in Galapagos. It really depends. I cannot give you like a price because you have a wide range of options and categories, and depends on what kind of accommodation you are looking for. So you can find from $80 a night until $5,000 a night. So it totally depends on what you are looking for. It is affordable for everybody. So you can look on based on what are your preferences, and you will find it. Then another thing that we are being asked all the time is when to book a trip to the Galapagos. And this is really important to know, that booking a trip to the Galapagos is not like doing it to other places. because you will have you you have different aspects to take into account. For example, one is as soon as you do it, you will get more benefits. You will have all the things, all the options, all the availability, the prices, the different cabins, itineraries to choose from. So you will be able to get a lot of different options, and so you have great opportunities of doing this. A really a special trip for you based on your preferences. I am recording this, Stephen, so I'm sorry the connection is not that well, but we will upload this on the Instagram TV and also on our Facebook webpage, so you can check it afterwards if you want. There is no problem. I'm going to continue. So if you confirm, for example, a year in advance, that is my recommendation usually, I will tell you that you are going to find more options, more spaces, more diversity on the things that you can find, and also you will get really good early bird discounts. So, because there's people telling you like, no, wait for last minute deals and things like that. But when you wait for last minute deals, you are very restricted to just a couple of options, and you will get to get whatever it is available for that time frame, and you don't have the choice to choose otherwise, so it is better to do it with time. At least 1 year in advance is my recommendation. Like that, you will have different options. You will get everything planned as you want. And also because the logistics on getting into the islands are not that easy. As I mentioned, you need to get first into mainland Ecuador, and from mainland Ecuador, you will need to fly into the islands. So, depending on the program or whatever you are going to do, it's going to take more time than just scheduling and planning like any other kind of trips that we are used to. Then there is some restrictions that you need to be aware of when traveling to the Galapagos Islands, because this is a national park that is being taken care of really strictly in order to preserve and reduce the impact of tourism in the islands. So, some things you need to know is, first, there are some fees that you need to pay in order to enter to the islands. The first fee is a transit control card that you will need to pay when you are in Quito or Guayaquil airports. And that's $20 per person, payable only with cash. And then when you arrive to the islands, you are going to be charged a $100 national park entrance fee. This fee is not only government fees, but also will be split into the preservation and the organizations that are taking care of the islands, the wildlife, the nature, and everything. So your impact as tourists is going to be paid like that, okay? One thing to have in mind is that you can only pay those fees with cash. So make sure to bring enough cash for this, because when you arrive there, there's no ATMs usually at the airport, and you cannot get out of the airport without paying this fee. So bring enough. Yes, the currency in Ecuador is the US dollar. So if you bring US dollars, you are fine. That's our currency, the national and official currency that we manage in Ecuador. Then the next thing that you need to know is that due to the strict restrictions in the islands, you cannot visit all the places on your own like anywhere else, like you are used to. In the islands, there are just a few options that can be done on your own by passengers, clients, tourists, and people in general. But most of the places will need to be visited with a guide. If you are not with a national park guide, you are not going to be able to do most of the visits, and all, especially the visits that are the most interesting, because you will go to isolated islands, to different places that are farther from the city or main towns and things like that. It's going to be only available if you do this with the national park guides. Okay. And then there is another really important thing to know, is that in the Galapagos, to reduce impact and to preserve nature, you can only be with small groups at the same time on the same place. This means, for example, if you're on a 16 passenger boat, the 16 passenger group is going to be the only one allowed to be visiting the same place and at the same time, and you are not going to find other people there. You are going to be always, if you see that and your guide sees that there's someone waiting already and staying there and doing the visit, you will be staying on your boat and waiting until they go out from that place so you can go in, because you cannot do the visits at the same time. Okay. Those are kind of the restrictions that we have in the Galapagos. Obviously, when you get there, you will get more information on how close to the animals you can get, or how you can take pictures, what kind of devices are allowed. For example, drones are not allowed in the islands. So there are some things that you need to know. And don't forget, you can ask us or any of your trip advisors to help you and give you more information and more details on what to bring, what not to bring, how to get prepared for traveling to the islands, what are the restrictions, the things that you need to know in advance, so you can have a great time there. Then I would like to mention the different ways that you have to visit the islands. There are two main options that you can take in order to have a great time in the islands. The first one, and the most recommended one, is by cruise. Taking a cruise will give you a lot of benefits, will give you the chance to have a more complete experience when visiting the islands. You have options of 4, 5, 6, 8 days or more if you want. You can combine itineraries. You will get to further places. You can reach islands that are not reachable when you are on different programs and only by cruise. So this one is one of the most recommended. And cruises have naturalist and diving cruises. So it depends on what you want to do, what you want to see, and also what kind of tourist you are, okay? And also there is a wide range of options between budget, mid-range, first class, and luxury. So you can choose from. And then the other option is doing a land-based tour. And as Sue is saying, for example, there are island hopping tours that are really nice. And also there are multi-sport tours, there are diving land tours that you will take day tours to different places. So there are different kind of things to take, to do, and to see. And especially the land-based tours are for people that prefer not to be into the water that much time. But have in mind that for visiting the islands, you will have to move around from island to island on a boat and things like that. I have a couple of questions here. The perfect location for booking a hotel depends on you. What's your budget and what you are looking for? But usually close to town hotels are the ones that people prefer, in front of the beach. Obviously that's one of the dreams. And then you have a lot of options depending on what island you want to stay in. You have hotels in San Cristobal, Santa Cruz, and Isabela Island. Those are the main cities and main towns, and from there you can catch tours to different places. There are cruises. I'm being asked if there are cruises with scuba diving. There are specialized cruises that do scuba diving. Those are diving live aboard cruises that will take you during 8 days to different islands, especially to Darwin and Wolf, that are the farther islands, and you will see great things. What you need to know is that As there are naturalist cruises, there are diving cruises, but diving cruises can be only taken by people that is specialized on diving, that have their certifications and a certain level of expertise, because the islands is not that easy. The water in the islands not that easy to swim and do diving. It's not like the Caribbean, so those are more difficult waters. Then you have different options, and if you don't have all the certifications and all the documents needed to take a diving boat, you can always take a land-based tour and take day tours by yacht to do diving, and that's another nice option. And they won't require that much experience and that much expertise, because the places that you will take on those tours will be easier and will be for more beginners, moderate divers, rather than the cruises will be for people that is experienced advanced divers that have all the certifications and have done, I don't know, 80 to 100 previous experienced dives and loggings, okay? Now that you know different ways to know the islands, how to get to the islands, what are the main restrictions and things like that, here we are to help you and answer any questions that you have. And as you can see, the Galapagos is a place where you can have any kind of tourism that you prefer, any kind of activities that you prefer. We can accommodate it, and it is always better to get in contact to someone that knows about the islands and what is available there, and you give this person all the details on what you are looking for, what are your preferences, what is your budget, what's what you like to do and see and things like that, because like this we can accommodate and you don't have to choose really between all the 80 different cruises or all the 100 hotels that there might be, but you will get more information and specific options based on your preferences, and it will make it easier and it will make it fastest, and will make sure that you get what you want. And then also you can get you have to, as I mentioned before, you have to arrive to the islands by staying either in Quito or Guayaquil. So this usually is a once in a lifetime trip, because I know it is not cheap because all the logistics and everything, but it is worth it. And while you are going to be here already, why not to take an extension trip? So the extension trips can give you a more complete and great experience. You can do, for example, Andes experiences in the mountains and volcanoes and lagoons, and seeing things like the culture about the indigenous people, the Ecuadorians, the gastronomy and things like that. You have also Amazon extension trips or Machu Picchu extension trips. You are close to all these kind of things in really 2 hours difference by plane, and that's going to be a really nice option if you want to complete and complement the trip with something like this. I've been asked, this is the major cruise lines are so expensive. Are there any more reasonable cruises offered? Yes, as I mentioned, you have a big and wide range of options between the 2-star, 3, 4, and 5-star cruises, or you can say budget, mid-range, first class, and luxury. It totally depends on what you are looking for on your trip, what amenities you want to have on the boat, what kind of food. You know, if you go to a more luxurious class, you will have more amenities, more bigger social areas. You will have cuisine that is on a higher level with more experienced chefs and things like that. But you can also find options that spaces are a little bit reduced, but and you don't have that bigger social areas and things like that. Food is always good in the Galapagos. That's something that I have to tell you. But you don't have the same services on board, that will be the difference, because the activities in the islands, while walking around the islands, swimming around the islands, or even getting just to on a panga ride or something like that, will be a great option, no matter if you're on a luxury boat or a budget class boat, because you will see the same things. The experience on the islands is going to be the same. The difference is on board the boat, what are the services, the amenities, and all the things that you will get on board. Then that's kind of like the basic stuff that you need to know in order to start dreaming about this vacation, in order to start planning and seeing some dates. As I mentioned, planning a Galapagos trip is not going to be easy, but if you find the person that helps you and gives you all the details and information, is going to be really nice. And you can ask as many questions as you want. You can write it here, or as I mentioned before, we are recording this, so we will post it on Instagram TV, on our social media, on Facebook, on Twitter. You can comment there, ask us any other extra questions. You can also, if you prefer to get a more personalized answer or something, you can send us an email to info@galapagosislands.com, and we will get back to you. It is our pleasure. It is great to give you any details, any information, help you making the right decisions, so you can have a great time and do this a memorable vacation. I'm going to repeat the email. It's info@galapagosislands.com, and you can type there any questions. You can send us any comments or anything. Also, if you want to have more information of any a specific topic, subject, or anything that you want to know, let us know, because we would like to prepare more interactions like this to help you and give you more information and do that kind of things. Okay. I'm being asked, are you anywhere that we can see out your window? Well, actually, I'm at home. We are on a lockdown due to the virus, so we have been for over a month like this, and I'm working from home, and I'm doing this from home. So basically, out of my window is not that nice right now, but it will be our pleasure to keep sharing videos and photos and stuff like this on all our social media. And if you want to see anything in particular or special, let me know, and I'll help you, and I'll send it to you. Okay. I have another question here. Can you visit without a tour group, or can one do self-tours when arrive? Yeah, as I mentioned, there are just a few options of places and sites that you can visit on your own. And those are the ones that are on the main islands. Because for doing visits that will take you to isolated places or different islands to see more wildlife and things like that, it won't be possible, and you have to be with a group or have a private guide, whatever you prefer. But you will always need to be accompanied by a national park guide. They are all certified, and they are the only ones that can do the tours. So don't worry. They are very knowledgeable and have a lot of interesting information that will help you. But you will have to be with a guide and on the tours, okay? Then there are any specific Galapagos travel blogs or websites that you can recommend? Actually, on our webpage, we have a blog, and we have a lot of information. It is divided on sections depending on what kind of information you are looking for, and you can get a lot of information about the Galapagos. If you want, you can visit galapagosislands.com, and you have about the Galapagos, about tours, about how to travel, when to travel, weather conditions, what to bring, what not to bring. You have a lot of information in there that's going to be really, really helpful. And also you can follow us on our social media, and you will get constantly updated, and we are posting information and things that we think that they are interesting for passengers and for tourists in general. What is the best way to travel with a 7-year-old? If you're with a kid, this is a good question because we are being asked this usually. And the Galapagos is a place that it's enjoyable, and we say this usually for kids when they are a little bit older, like 6, 7, 8 years, not earlier ages, because what you do is really a lot of active activities. Like you have a lot of hiking and swimming and snorkeling and things like this. And cruises will allow kids of that age. Always verify this with your TripAdvisor, because some have restrictions of age restrictions, but mostly will accept kids after the age of 6. Or you can take a land-based program depending on what are your preferences. But there are certain programs that are family-oriented, so you can get more personalized services for your kids. Okay, bigger boats usually have these services and have spaces that are specific for kids, and will do activities that are specific for kids. I recommend some of those of the bigger boats because to families and families traveling with kids, because I know they have these amazing activities, and they are very, very oriented to kids, and they know how to do it, and they have all the people prepared to do this. So you can find nice options for kids as well. When do you think it will be possible to return to the islands after Corona? I don't know how. We're hoping to have everything open by June, but I don't know. It is really uncertain. You know, we don't have any official information on when we are going to be able to open the islands again. But we are working on a lot of things to prepare when it happens, and give you more services, get a better experience, and I know all the operators, companies, and everybody that works in the islands is doing a lot of this research, and they are applying new protocols and things like this to warranty the services, security, safety for all clients, passengers, and everybody. So hopefully by June, however, we will be posting any further information that we get from the authorities as soon as we have it. But don't worry, because the islands are being kept under strict controls, and they are, if they were nice before, they will be nicer now that there is no people and there's no one there. I'm sure that wildlife is going to be amazing after this. You will see a lot of things, and everything will be nice. So I think that will be it for today. If you have any other questions, let me know right now. But if not, then I'll be waiting for your comments in any of our social media. As I said, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we will be more than happy to help you and answer any questions that you may have, and help you to make this trip come true, and do it a dream vacation, a once in a lifetime vacation. Okay? So thank you so much for being here, for joining us. I'm really, really happy to share this information with you. And yeah, don't stop dreaming about the next vacation. We are all doing it, so hopefully we will be seeing each other soon enough. Okay, have a great day, keep safe, keep healthy, and stay home. Okay, see you and have a good day. Bye.